Chris Honorato and the closer, Brian Mariano, with you here on 104.5, the Team ESPN Radio, in for Roger on this Friday. And good enough to take a little bit of a break from his run this morning as they continue to go down the Mississippi, rolling down the mighty Mississippi, Ainsley's Angels and Power to Push, the Evans family from Galway. And Shaun Evans, good enough to take a little bit of a break here from his run today to join us here on 104.5 The Team. Shaun, good morning. Do you know which city you are in?
You know what? I just asked Nicole because she pulled over. We have a little pit stop here, and it's a good time for me to take a break. And Wabasha, I think is how you pronounce it, in Minnesota.
So still in Minnesota. This is a 1,700-mile journey down the Mississippi River. And Shaun, I want to take you back a couple of nights. We ran video of it on News Channel 13. Roger and I talked about it here yesterday morning as well. Your trip to Target Field, which I hear is beautiful, by the way, and the Twins making you part of the pregame ceremony, and then even the in-game interview in which you donated 3 of these running chariots to families that really need them and that can really use them. What was that moment like for you, Nicole, and the boys?
Holy cow, it's hard to even put it into words. So not only did we get to present the chairs on the field, but before the game, we got to spend some time with the players during batting practice, and then we got a special tour from the curator of the Twins, into the secret parts of the stadium, we'll say, which was exhausting after running all day, but it was so well worth it, and all the things that we got to see. And then, of course, the chair presentation, and just after the chair presentation, Joe Mauer came out and kind of snuck up behind us all and surprised us and autographed some balls to the boys and, congratulated us on what we're doing. And it's just really, really special to have somebody like that take notice of what we're doing as well.
Closer and I, we didn't really put a formal wager on this, but we were guessing anyway how many calories you've already consumed today. I know on average, Shaun, I think you're running 50-plus miles a day. Obviously, some days less, some days more. But how many calories are you consuming, and how many have you already put into your body as we talk here at 10:49 Eastern?
Yeah, I try not to think about how much food I eat. And today happens to be one of those longer days. If I had to guess, probably 5,000 to 6,000 calories. I try and do a pretty solid breakfast. Don't do much during lunch. Nicole makes me these super shakes loaded with I don't know what, and that's my lunchtime meal. And then I basically, as soon as we finish running, I eat myself to sleep, and then repeat it the next day. So, yeah, I've been trying to hit as many calories as I can and not feel bloated while I'm running. That's the challenge.
Shaun, I'm really happy you mentioned right there because I said right around 8,000 calories, so I appreciate you giving me the win on that informal wager. But what is the schedule like? I mean, when are you waking up? When are you running? You said you're taking a break. Thank you to talk to us. But what is the schedule like on like a daily basis?
Yeah, we I try to make it so it's not a miserable experience for the boys either. So I'm. As much as I'd like to be out there and my body is ready to be running at 5 o'clock or even 4 o'clock every morning because that's what I'm used to keep the family happy, we, usually don't start until 7 or sometimes even 8. And depending on media obligations, like yesterday, we didn't even start until after 10. So, but typically we get rolling, 7 or 8 o'clock and run, we do 5-mile intervals. So I'll run 5 miles and then reunite with Nicole and the RV. Rehydrate, refuel a little bit, basically some pretzels and get some salt in my system and that kind of thing, and then back on our way. Usually, 5-minute rest at most when we stop. And Shaun, just keep plugging along.
Shaun, I know you said this in game during the Twins game. Obviously, as you push Seamus for most of the trip, and that is while you're on this journey. It's his big dreaming that has you guys going here. It took you from Seattle to New York City 2 summers ago, and now the length of the Mississippi. But you shared in game that Simon is your personal masseuse. So this is a full team operation. I know you've compared the family to kind of the pit crew.
Oh, without a doubt. So Simon is ready to go. He has no problem touching my sweaty legs and sweaty feet anytime I come in for a pit stop. And that was perfect those first few days because my hamstrings were really tight. And he'd come in and rub my hamstrings, and it really helps a lot. So, yeah, he's an integral part of the team, too, no doubt about it.
Shaun, on a serious note, what did you see in the months or even the full year after you guys arrived in New York City from your run coast to coast 2 years ago, and what do you hope will be the residual effect from this run here this summer as you continue to spread the message of Ainsley's Angels and Power to Push?
Yeah, so one of the great things was not only are we out there donating the chairs to those individuals and their families, but we're promoting Ainsley's Angels and that mission of inclusion and just letting people know that there's an opportunity out there for them to participate. So when we ran across America, we picked up several ambassadorships across the nation, and we're up to 60 different ambassadors in cities across the USA and in 27 different states. And as we ran through the Twin Cities, we had some real interest in starting an ambassadorship there, and that would be one of the larger metropolitan areas. If we could bring Ainsley's Angels there, that would be great. Just because a lot of kids don't even know that that's an option for them to be able to participate.
Shaun Evans joining us here on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Chris Honorato and the closer, Brian Mariano, in for Roger here this morning. How many miles will you run today?
Oh, today I think is one of the longest days. It's near 70, and We've been rolling for a while here. We've got probably just under 50 left to go, and it's just before 10 o'clock here local time. So it's going to be a long day. Unbelievable,
and obviously the journey will end at the bottom of the Mississippi in Louisiana, which Shaun, you told me was the home of Ainsley's Angels. I did not know that, but we will certainly be with you every step of the journey, either right here on 104.5 The Team or on News Channel 13. And it's good to know that media outlets throughout your journey here will be, I understand, interrupting your run, but hopefully for the betterment of the cause in getting it the exposure it deserves.
Oh, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Seamus and I did a live morning TV show out of Minneapolis yesterday. All that stuff is great. It's more exposure for the mission. It's more exposure for Ainsley's Angels. So that's exactly why we're doing it.
I love it. Shaun, thanks so much for taking the little break here to join us here this morning. Keep going strong, man, and we will catch up with you down the road.
Thanks for the support, Chris and Brian. Have a good day.